Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a gimbal, and this is the Smooth 5 from Zhiyun. I think 中文係Zhiyun. And it's a Chinese company which I had reviewed the gimbal before here. This is the Q3, and this is the go-to gimbal for the last 12 months, and this is fantastic. It just doesn't give me any problem. Every time I put the phone on, it just works. Yeah, so this one is £160 from Amazon. I'll put the link in the description, and let's open it and have a look and see what your money can buy. Now, all my video is not scripted, so if you like my video, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel to help me grow. Very nice and clean packaging. And when we open, you have your instruction booklet. The little tripod is always like an extension to your tripod. So this one screws onto the bottom and it opens flat. That's the gimbal in packaging, and also a USB cable. Wow. So this is a 360 gimbal. So if you look at this, the handle can spin 360. Very important if you want to do inception or you want to do like a full 360. Whereas some of the gimbal on the market, you kind of like doesn't go all the way around, and you got the company logo on the back here, which I think is quite stylish. I think just like people like to have Chinese tattoo, and I do think some of the Chinese character is very pretty. Now this is a bigger, more professional gimbal, so in terms of the body size is it bigger, but it's still a lot smaller than the previous professional models. If you just put it side by side against the Q3, it's not that much bigger really. The more I look at it, the more I think this is like a professional grade gimbal. The grip is rubberized on the front. Actually, pretty comfortable to hold. You got a wheel dial on the left hand side. You can use your thumb, I guess. And the joystick over here. Menu button, more button. I mean, the ergonomics of the thing is pretty good actually. Everything is reachable from my thumb. Power button, function button. You got a tripod mount here. You can actually put an extension to put extra lights as such. USB port at the back, I think. Yep. So you got a dust cover on this. I usually don't like this kind of thing dangling about, but that's just me. Phone clamp up here. I'm going to test out how good it is to grip a phone with a case in a minute. That is always important. Okay, the handle part, all plastic. The top part, all kind of a brush, aluminium look. Okay, before I use it, I always charge it up. So I'm going to lift up the flap here, and I am going to use my own cable. Not that I don't like other cables, it just I find any USB-C cable will work. Now I don't know if you guys can see it, but once I plug it in, it lights up on the top here, so it's very subtle. It's not like your normal LED light. But I keep going so I know that this is powering it up and it's charging. I'm just going to give it a minute to charge. And while this is charging, let's have a look. Started with the Chinese version. Let's go to English. I can read Chinese, but I've been here for so long now, I actually prefer to read English. Right, quick start. So download the ZY app. Let me see if I have that already. Which I already have because I have that gimbal over there. Alright, so just a little demonstration here for you guys. I'm going to start my GoPro and I'm going to start my phone by pressing the record button on the gimbal. Alright, so we started. So my iPhone 11 is recording, but it's stabilized, while the GoPro, I switch off stabilization, it just mounts directly on the handle, so any movement of my hands will be picked up by the gimbal, so any movement of my hand or my arm will be captured by the GoPro, whereas the phone should be butter smooth. So this is just something to show you guys what will happen when you use a gimbal. So this is just a simple demonstration how smooth the gimbal is. Okay, so while this is recording, it should be picking up all the vibration of my hand. I know it's a bit boring looking at my tools, but I just really want to show you guys how steady using a gimbal and freehand means to you. Now, degree of movement, this gimbal is actually not bad. The only thing I have against this is this. So if you try to twist it to the right too much, when the motor arm hit the other motor arm, it will try to avoid it. But rather than smooth avoid, it will actually go into a crazy mode. So like this. So that's just something that I personally don't like. But you can always, like, you know, hold it differently. So my suggestion is hold the gimbal like pointing forward. In that case, when you turn left and turn right, the arm is not going to be in the way of each other. So it will be a lot smoother than actually holding up like this. But this is just a common use of most of the gimbal. And the sweeping motion, I think this is just something that no matter how stable your hand is, you just wouldn't be able to do this. Okay, the second thing I want to demonstrate to you guys is that from yesterday, I went out and I tested out some of the function. Let's say most people buy this gimbal. Let's say you want to do a shot of the main subject. It can be a human. Face is actually better in terms of like the identification by the software. But let's say I want to track this object here. And this is the subject. It might be a dance thing that they're moving about, but I want to do something funny, funky. I want to do something funky with this, yeah? So I got my app running at the moment. It is recording. So if I drag a box, let's say put it in the center. So now we have a green box against the box over there. Now if I move the box, what you will see is the gimbal will move. Within reasonable speed. So as long as it can catch up with the tracking software, then it will work. Now 3D object I find is better in terms of tracking, because 2D I think sometimes it worked out. Once it distorted, it won't track anymore. But at the moment it's tracking the box. If I do this, sweeping left and right, I try to be as smooth as I can so that it doesn't make everyone sick. But if I move it upwards, it tilts down. If I move it downwards, it tilts up. So let's, for example, if that subject is moving and I am moving and it's quite dynamic, and it should still stay in the middle of the frame. So let's say if you are filming some dancing stuff and you want to move forward and backward while you are panning and the subject is moving, then it will be quite good. If you are moving too fast and it's out of the picture, then obviously it will take some time for it to come back to the normal. My suggestion is use a wide angle on your camera so you see as much as you can while you use this function, and then it will stay focused. Now the other pretty cool function is the wheel on the side here, and this is what makes it professional. So this wheel here, you can use it to control your focus or zoom. Now most of the time I use is the zoom button. So if I click it, it will unlock the function, and when I move the wheel, it becomes a zoom or zooming out. Now as soon as I do that, because it changed the shape of the tracking, so the tracking stopped working. So it's not tracking anymore. Put it back to the mode. Well, I think there's a lot more to say about this gimbal than a short video like today. This would definitely be my new gimbal to go to, just because that, you know, this can do 360 and the app is actually pretty decent. There are some preset functions which makes it fun. So if you are going to make some video where short video clips, so you've got options of choosing like 4 2-second clips, and each of them have a default set of motion, so it can pan in and out for you, just like a time lapse where they pan automatically. But just for, you know, creativity side of things. Yeah, like I said, so this is not an in-depth version. Once I play around it for a few months, I might do another video to update. But out of the box, if you have used a gimbal before, you should have no problem setting this one up and using it as if. Like I say, user-friendly wise, it is a professional gimbal, but it still remains pretty straightforward for someone who haven't read the instructions. So that's all I have time for you today. Don't forget, if you find my information useful, share, like, and subscribe to my channel to help me grow. And I can't wait to see you next time with more interesting gadget. Bye bye.